what is your next report on?
My next report is on Dr. Benjamin Carson.
Oh.
Have a look at this. Dr. Ben Carson was a pediatric brain surgeon, meaning he operated on children's brains. He was director of pediatric neurosurgery at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Maryland from 1984 to 2013. He was born in Detroit, Michigan, and graduated from Yale University.
He loved to read.
He loved to read. Dr. Carson has written many books on his medical career and political views. A television film was made about him in 2009, titled The Ben Carson Story. He now has a tremendously important job with the government. Have a look at this for Ben Carson.
But you know, we didn't let that stop us. We started initially giving out money from our own pocket, $1,000 to students starting in the 4th grade for superior academic performance and demonstration of humanitarian qualities. They had to show they cared about other people too. Because we didn't want people who were just smart. You know, Kenneth Ray is smart. You know, he thought was smart, Hitler was smart, but they didn't do good things. So you need to be smart and caring. And they get $1,000, it goes into a trust fund, it's developed by our financial people. They get a statement each year in terms of how much it's worth. The school gets a trophy, every bit as impressive as any sports trophy you've ever seen anywhere. They get a medal to wear, they go to a banquet, they get local press attention. And they begin to believe that they're world beaters. It's amazing some of the things that they've gone on to do. But more importantly, the other students can see them as being cool rather than as being nerds and geeks. You know, you give a 4th grader or a 5th grader a $1,000 scholarship and they are cool all of a sudden. And, you know, we find so many of the other students who are now trying. And we now have over 1,400 scholars in 9 states, and we're moving into a few more states this year. And it's my hope that by the time I die, we'll be in every school system in the country, and that every 4th and 5th grader in the United States will realize that they can get just as much recognition from academic performance and humanitarian qualities as they can from shooting a basketball. And that's the kind of thing that will begin to change our nation, starting at the grassroots, starting with the young people, creating new ideals. And we do need volunteers. Anybody wants to volunteer? CarsonScholars.org. We need you. But, you know, you would have thought that having turned things around academically and understanding academics, life was going to be wonderful for me. But see, I had another problem. I had a terrible temper. I was one of those people who thought they had a lot of rights. You ever meet anybody like that? The more rights a person thinks they have, the more likely someone is to infringe upon them. So people were constantly infringing upon my rights. I remember once a fellow hit me with a pebble. It didn't hurt. But I was incensed that he would dare hit me. But I could learn my curl his face, broke his glasses, almost put his eye out. Another time, a fellow was trying to close my locker at school. I didn't want to close. I struck him in the forehead with my fist. Unfortunately, still had the lock in my hand. Put a 3-inch gash in his forehead. I almost got expelled for that one. My mother was trying to get me to wear something. I didn't want to wear it. I picked up a hammer, went to hit her in the head with it. Fortunately, my brother caught it from behind before it found its mark. And other than that, I was a pretty good kid. But you can see how that temper can really create problems for us. God we trust. Every coin in our pocket, every bill in our wallet says, in God we trust. So for our finding documents, it's in our pledge, it's in our courts, and it's on our money. But we're not supposed to talk about it. What in the world is that? In medicine, we call it schizophrenia. Doesn't that explain a lot of what goes on in our society today? We need to make it perfectly clear that it's okay to live by godly principles of loving your fellow man, of caring about your neighbor, of developing your God-given talents to the utmost so that you become valuable to the people around you, of having values, principles, and standing for something. And if we do that, we truly will have one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Thank you.
as a Baltimore City Council member and a leading advocate for the poor and homeless. Her real name is Beatrice Getty. She was locally known as the Mother Teresa of Baltimore and was inducted to the Maryland Women's Hall of Fame in 2006. The B. Getty Family Center feeds thousands of people every Thanksgiving. She was a kind and loving person who made Baltimore a better place. Have a look at this. was a radio host and gospel singer, especially in the city of Baltimore. While thousands of Baltimoreans grew up listening to her gospel ministry on the radio, they knew her as Aunt Pauline, or the godmother of gospel. As she was known, she was like the Mother Teresa of gospel. Some people saw her as a mother or aunt. She worked her own style with such great delivery. Look how beautifully dressed she is. She was one of the first women to be on a radio microphone. Have a look at this.
To have you here.
Thank you.
And welcome, Phoenix. And what are you reporting on today?
Mary Carter Smith. Have a look at this. Hi, I'm Phoenix, and today I want to tell you the story of Mary Carter Smith. She was born in 1919 and died in 2007. She was a famous storyteller, teacher, and writer. She graduated from Coppin State University and was a Baltimore City public school teacher for 31 years. She helped provide storytelling as an educational tool. Also, she helped start the Big Brothers Big Sisters program of Maryland and was a member of the Arena Players Theater Company and the Griot Circle of Maryland. She hosted a Saturday radio program, Griot for the Young and Young at Heart. In 1983, she was named the official Griot of Baltimore City, and in 1991, the official Griot of Maryland. Have you ever heard of the word griot? It's spelled G-R-I-O-T, but it's pronounced griot. The T is silent. So here's a little video of Mary Carter Smith.
The griot of Maryland and Baltimore.
That's right.
What is a griot?
A griot is a word that comes from Africa. It's a French word that tells about the person who remembers the stories and the history and the songs and passes them on from one generation to another.
And we all have stories like that in our own families, don't we? So if we think about it, our stories, our personal stories and stories of our family and people in the world are very important. And Mary Carter Smith is one of the great storytellers of anywhere. And she's been telling stories for many, many years. And today she also has a special song for us about the story she said about John Henry.
Now, I told the story of John Henry, and here is one of the many songs. There are over 50 written about John Henry. Now, I'd like you to help me with this song, and I'd like you to clap your hands whenever I hit the drum, but not until I hit the drum, okay? When John Henry was a little baby, sitting on his pappy's knee, he picked up a hammer and a little piece of steel and said, "This hammer's gonna be the death of me, Lord, Lord. This hammer's gonna be the death of me." John Henry hammered on the mountain till his hammer was a striking fire. He hammered so hard that he broke his poor heart, and he died with his hammer in his hand, Lord, Lord. He died with his hammer in his hand. John Henry had a pretty woman, and she always dressed in red. She walked down the track, a never looking back, and says, I'm going to where my man is laying dead, Lord, Lord. I'm going to where my man is laying dead. They took John Henry to the graveyard, and they buried him in the sand. Now every time a train goes by, it says, there lies a steel driving man, Lord, Lord. There lies a steel driving man. What's his name? John Henry! Right. Oh, you're wonderful.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a storyteller. I go to Austria and France, Africa, Caribbean, and I've done this for about 40 years. So I was on WEAA radio for 24 years as a volunteer every Saturday morning, a storyteller. And my autobiography is coming out on February 27th.
I wish it the best of luck. Something tells me you have many stories to tell.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. I can stand for 12 hours without stopping.
I would have to put on more comfortable shoes.
Hi, this is Mama Yaya. Welcome back. And we have with us Phoenix today, and she's going to report to some exhibits in the Blacks and Wax Museum. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
And what is your next report on, Phoenix?
UB Blake, have a look at this. UB Blake was born about 1887 and died in 1983. His real name was James Hubert Blake. He was an American composer, lyricist, and pianist of ragtime, jazz, and popular music. In 1921, he and his longtime collaborator, Noble Sissle, wrote Shuffle Along, one of the first Broadway musicals to be written and directed by African Americans. Have a look at this.
Now, as I look through the window of a row house in East Baltimore, I see an old man sitting at a piano. His long, narrow fingers are tickling the ivories. Sounds of happy birthday ring out loud and clear throughout the house. Suddenly, the man at the piano turns to the crowd of friends and family members who surround him, patiently waiting to hear him play more of his music, and he says to them, "If I had known that I was going to live to be 100, I would have taken better care of myself." Now, not long after celebrating this festive day, the man who was having his 100th birthday died. That man was UB Blake. Now, as we travel back in history, we go back to a cold February 7. The year was 1883. James Hubert Blake was born. His parents were former slaves, and both of them, oddly enough, were well educated. They both could read and write. Now, his father, John Sumner Blake, was a stevedore and a Civil War veteran. And his mama, Emily Johnston Blake, was a laundress as well as an intense disciplinarian. But alas, UB would almost always find trouble in his path. As a matter of fact, let me give you a for instance. One morning he was just innocently standing on the corner, standing across the street, watching a little boy throw a rope over what then was an electric line. And he was surprised that this young boy continued to throw the rope over the wire to try to pull it down. And finally, that boy succeeded. The boy got scared and ran, leaving UB there alone, and the wires were just a-flailing. Now, electricity was new back then, and only the well-off could afford such a luxury. Now, those wires lit a neighborhood doctor's house, so naturally the police got involved. Now, while all of this was going on, there was a lady from the block across the street who was watching the whole thing. And when she was asked who done it, she pointed to Eubie and said, "It was that mouse-faced little boy over there." And lo and behold, that's how he got the nickname Mouse long before Hubert became known as Eubie. Now, when you come back, I'll tell you more about the Cecil and Rachel.
Welcome back, and we have with us Phoenix today, and she's gonna report to some exhibits in the Blacks and Wax Museum. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
So, what is your first report on?
My first report is Billie Holiday, and she is an amazing jazz singer. Have a look at this. Billie Holiday was an amazing American jazz singer with a career spanning nearly 30 years. Her real name was Eleanor Fagan. She was nicknamed Lady Day by her friend and music partner Lester Young. She wasn't just a fantastic jazz singer, but also a successful songwriter and actress. She was known for her vocal delivery and improvisation. There have been many documentaries and movies about her life, including Lady Sings the Blues. Have a look at this.
I would particularly like to express my appreciation to the entire commission for this wonderful tribute to Billie life and senseless work.
Congratulations again. Thank you so much, Bernice.
Hi, I'm here with Bernice McKay, and she's the president of the Billie Holiday Estate. Billie Holiday was one of the honorees here tonight. Bernice, can you tell us, how is this award, what does it mean to the estate of Billie Holiday?
It means a lot to us because she's been honored. I also went to accept the stamp, and they made the stamp for Billie Holiday. I also went, I've been to a lot of things that they did inducting Billie Holiday into different things. And it means a lot to the whole estate because there's some more on the estate besides me, his sons and all. And this honor tonight was really very nice. You know, I thought it was I really enjoyed it, you know, and I just think it was grand. And I did enjoy it, and I like to see her honored, and I like to see more things done for her in Baltimore because she was born there.
Haganizana ndumiswani na nonke zinsizwa nezintombi wozani nina
wozani nonke wozani kulentokozo yokumbonga nokumdumisa nokumkhonza ngeqiniso wozani nina nonke kulentokozo yokumbonga